This video presents content from Chapter 6 of the book Sustainable Living and World Peace from a section entitled, Water is Too Valuable to Waste. It is estimated that the United States wastes between 30% to 40% of its food. This is due to many reasons, but if we think about it, this number is not necessarily surprising to any of us. We are all guilty of wasting food and contributing to this staggering amount of waste. We mentioned before that we should not grow our economy based on waste, but think of the amount of agricultural economy and land-based economy that is driven by waste and not by utility. We all need to reflect on what wasting between 30% to 40% of our food means. Consider the amount of money that was spent and wasted in purchasing something that we just threw away. Consider the value of life that was sacrificed for our possible nourishment and sustainment of our lives. Do we think that a high standard of living means we should just waste life, resources, and money? Approximately 80% of consumptive water usage in the United States goes towards agriculture, while approximately 69% of global water withdrawal is used for agriculture. Think of all the potential water conservation opportunities in residential, industrial, and commercial uses of water. However, if we wanted to find the way to get the most bang for our efforts in conserving water, we could look to conserving water in agriculture, where we use more than half of our water. If we wanted to find a great way to conserve water use in agriculture, we should first look to cut back on our wasted amount of agricultural products. Based on the amount of food we waste and the amount of water we devote to agriculture in the United States, it is calculated that more than 25% of the overall fresh water humans consume is used to produce the food we simply throw away and waste. The water that went into creating this food was completely wasted and served no valuable purpose to anyone or anything. This is building an economy based on waste and not on utility. Think of what could have been done with that water or with the land that this wasted food was grown on. What could it have meant to fish or wildlife? What human purpose could it have served to actually create utility, value, and opportunity? The next time you read an article or see or hear a story that talks about the scarcity of water or the need of additional water use, think of the water that each of us is responsible for wasting due to our own carelessness. Do you see where the changes that need to happen have to originate? They must originate in each of us on the scale of the individual, with each person's pal virtue directing him or her to do what is right. It is a global issue with the cause at the scale of the individual, and no amount of regulation or coercion will make changes happen like what could happen when virtue directs us on a course of sustainability. Just like a republic will not exist without virtue at the individual level, sustainability will not exist without virtue, pal virtue, at the individual level also. Our willingness to waste food and the resources that go into its production is indicative of an underlying mindset of wastefulness and our pervasive willingness to waste anything and all other resources. There is so much potential for human growth. Currently, though, we end up wasting so many resources and not allowing them to be used for real and sustainable growth. Just getting efficient is not how we are going to make it to sustainability, but neither is exploiting purposelessly and wastefully. Using resources with a purpose is a must, and wastefulness conflicts with our attempts to increase utility and sustainability. Due to the limited nature of fossil fuels, the long-term prospects of raw materials for plastics appears to point to a need for bio-based production in some form in the distant future. Agricultural land may end up fitting into this equation for supplying at least a part of the biomass that could be used in making plastics. This may be something we can count on as long as the resources needed in agricultural production are managed and utilized properly and responsibly, and the resulting products are not wasted irresponsibly. The potential for agriculture to help in creating a renewable resource for materials, as well as feeding a growing and increasingly affluent population, requires that we get a handle on the wasteful use of water and the Earth's surface.